Hey, welcome to my channel, fellow investors. It's me, E.T., and remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a self-taught investor who's always looking for ways to generate income from my assets. And one of the ways that I plan to get income from my asset is I'm going to take $20,000 in cash and turn that investment into an income generating asset. And the way that I'm going to do this is by doing what they call an option strategy called the poor man's covered call. I'm going to do this on a S&P 500 company, and that company is CitiGroup. Now this here is going to be the first video in a new series of videos called CitiGroup's Poor Man's Covered Call. This series here is going to document my journey with that $20,000, and I'll try to do this for a year, but it's going to depend on when we actually close out the actual trade. So we'll see how long we can do on that there. So why am I using a poor man's covered call versus, let's just say, either owning the stock or writing covered calls on the stock? This is why. Okay, let's take a look. This is the setup here. I'm looking at a poor man's covered call. Got $20,000 in cash to do this with. I'm going to do it on CitiGroup. And CitiGroup at the time was $66.50 per share. Now, with $20,000, if I was just to go ahead and just focus on stocks, I can buy 300 shares. Now, CitiGroup pays a quarterly dividend of 51 cents per quarter. That's going to equate, if I have 300 shares, that's going to equate to $153 per quarter. All right, times 4, in other words, for 1 year, that's going to give me an income of $612 per year. That's a 3% yield, but also we're looking at stock appreciation. 66.50, stock goes up, the appreciation goes up with it. But we're going to concentrate strictly on the income generated from that. So we know we're looking at a 3% income generating from that $20,000 investment. Now, a lot of people say also another way to generate income outside of your dividends, since you own the stock, is to also write covered calls, which I've done in the past. Now, since I own the stock, I can write covered calls off of it. This is what would happen if I was to do that. A covered call, this 300 shares would equate to 3 contracts. Remember, in options, a contract it equals 100 shares of stock. So we're looking at 3 contracts. Realistically, at a bare minimum, I feel that I can generate $50 per month per contract. So that is $150 per month or $1,800 per year. Not bad, but you also got to realize one thing. Since I own the stock, I still get my dividends, even though I'm selling covered calls on it, unless it's taken away. And I don't believe that's going to happen because I know how to effectively manage my trades. So if you take this $1,800 plus this $612 from dividends, that gives me a yearly total of $2,412. That's without stock appreciation, 12% on a $20,000 investment. Now, the reason why I'm looking at, and seriously, I'm going to do a poor man's covered call instead, this is the reason why. Poor man's covered call. I've already done the research, looked at the options chain, and I'm looking for the max amount of time. So I'm looking at Elite. A $60 call option on Elite for Citicorp expiring on the 19th of January 2024 is going to cost me $13.50. In other words, per share. Remember, we operate in contracts on the option side. So that's $1,350. Now, with $20,000, realistically, I can go with 10. I can buy 10 contracts, a little bit more, but I'm focusing on 10. The 10 contract, that's going to cost me $13,500. That's going to leave me $650 left over to do other things with, to invest in other stocks and so forth. So, by selling short-term covered calls, and I'm talking about approximately 30 to 45 days, maybe even sometimes even weekly, because CitiGroup also have weekly call options on it. But just like over here on the call option side, I can generate at a bare minimum $50 per month. Since I have 10 contracts, that's going to be $500 per month or $6,000 a year. I can't add the dividends because I don't own the stock. I'm pretty much like leasing the stock. So there's no dividends. This here is protected. This here is covered because it's covered with the stocks. This here is protected because I have the lease. All right, so what that's going to equate to, the $6,000 is a 44% return, income generated, on a $13,500 initial investment. So that is my game plan. If you guys would like to follow me along in this journey, definitely want to check out all of the up and coming videos. So that means you need to go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Now, the very next video that I'm going to put out, the steps to setting up my poor man's covered call. I will show you exactly what I'm looking at so far as the technical analysis side of the house, the history of CitiGroup so far as within the price range, and I'm going to specifically go over the 3 steps in setting this up. And one of those steps is managing the trade. So guys, I appreciate you watching this. If you got some value, remember, hit that like, subscribe, notification button. And with all that being said, guys, I'm going to close with this. Remember to save, invest, apply what you know, because knowledge is not power. It's the application of knowledge that's power. I'll see you guys in the next video.